Okay, so that's it. I just wanted to give you a quick overview of the classroom. Now I'm going to get right into the classroom tour. So walking in, you see the outside of the door, it just says welcome. And walking in, we have this bulletin board that I use as reminders. Just stuff that I want to tell my students because they have to look directly at this board before leaving the door. So I just put little reminders here, like the grading rule. And then up here, I just have some of the books. This is an English class, so I have lots and lots of classroom sets of novels and EOC books and grammar books over there and speech books because I also teach speech. And then down here, right on top of the countertop, I have ELA 1, ELA 2, which is just English 1 and English 2. And when students walk in, one of the procedures they have, so when they're walking in from here, they walk right over here, pick up whatever papers they need for today. These are the papers they're going to need for Monday. Pick up one of each what they need for today. And then this is just, I just have this right here because I don't want my sophomores to pick up my freshman work or my freshmen to pick up my sophomores work. So I put a little divider so that they know just which side they need. And then up here I have just some bins. These are just some bins I got from the Dollar Tree, and I spray paint them this little metallically silver color so it fits with my farmhouse theme. And then I have these cloths just hanging up here. These bins have stuff in them, but we don't use those 4 at the top. We only use these 4 at the bottom, and these are for their reading response journals. They just come, put their reading response journals in here, pick them up when they're leaving, and then take them with the, write their bell ringer, and then put them back up here. And then up there I just have stuff, and then up here I have just some little hangers with some clips on them just in case I need to hang something up. And then here in the speech section, this might seem a little weird, but speech, I only have one speech class and it's at the end of the day. And I never want to confuse my students on which papers to pick up, because on the first 2 days of school, I had a lot of sophomores pick up freshman paper. And then when I got to the freshman class, there wasn't enough because so many sophomores had picked them up. So I don't want to confuse them. So with my speech, they just have regular loose leaf paper that I keep up here so that when they grab their speech book and they need paper, they can just grab it right there. And then here are the grammar books. They know when to come and grab their grammar books. And here's the turn-in tray, my very mismatched turn-in tray, but this is what I had. I wasn't buying any new ones. I don't know what happened to the ones from last year. So this is just for each of my classes. They have their turn-in trays. They know which tray it belongs in. And this is just my wax warmer. I turn it on in the morning, give it a little scent. And this is the sharpener. And then down here, again, I have just a whole bunch of classroom copies. They kind of drive me crazy, really and truly, because they're not unorganized. But just a bunch of just classroom copies of books. All through here. I almost didn't want to show y'all this because it wasn't very organized, but this is real life. It's classroom copies on top of classroom copies on top of classroom copies. More, and then that's my water in my bag that I have under there for whatever reason. Okay. Next is just this cabinet. I won't even get into that because it's nothing important. And then I have this little quote up here: in a world where you can be anything, be yourself. And I just try and keep little quotes around the classroom, you'll notice. And then here, this is just honestly some decorations that I had that I didn't want to throw away, and I just set them up there. And then here are my file cabinets. My very important file cabinets. They look a little rustic and dirty, but that's the theme of the classroom. I actually spray painted the sides of them the same color as those metallic bins. I just spray painted the sides of them so that they fit with the theme, but the front was black, and I'm like, that works because I have a bunch of black things in the class already. And I spray painted the top as well. And this is just my absent yesterday. Check this basket section. Antiques, get it? Haha. And if the students were absent, they know which folder to come and check, which one is from their class. So they're just going to come over here and pull the sheet from when they were absent. And here I just have, as you can see, I have a bunch of these clothesline hooks up here. And they're just for my anchor chart. This one I just used an example. They're just for my anchor charts. It just matched my theme. I just thought it would be cute to put the anchor charts on a clothesline. Although it's not actually on a clothesline because it's sticking to the wall, obviously. But I just thought it was cute to add to my theme. And here are my burlap curtains that I am very proud of. And I'll have a video on how I made those. And these are like the staple to my room. Whenever someone walks in, they're just like, oh, the burlap, you know. So, and this is just the dictionaries, the classroom copies of dictionaries. And then I have this whitewash. It was actually in my classroom already, so I got pretty lucky. But it's just this whitewash. It was kind of dirty, which is perfect because that's what I was going for. And so, yes, I was just lucky enough to have this. And then with my students' desks, I have them all like facing one another because I like to do a lot of debates where one side will debate the other side. It keeps them excited. It keeps them focused. It helps them to think about what's going on, what are they debating. And then up here, I just have this welcome sign with the farmhouse theme, just make them feel welcome. And then just on the other side of the welcome sign, I have the behavior expectations, the infraction policy, and the classroom behavior. Just our rule: be safe, be responsible, be respectful. Just a reminder. And up there I have the clock, and next to the clock I have the bell schedule, because we did get a new bell schedule this year, and I myself nor my students know exactly what that is this year. So we're learning it. And then I have the bell ringer for English 1 and the bell ringer for English 2. And I just put up a bell ringer every day, so when they walk in the classroom and after they pick up their papers in that section, turn in their homework in that section, and or if they missed anything in that section, then they come to their seats after they pick up their reading response journals and the bins, and they come to their seats and they do their bell ringer, and that's it. And up here I just have my Promethean board, which is another reason why I set up the classroom the way that I did, so that they can see the board at all times. And I don't know what happened, the lighting just got really weird. But so that they can see the board at all times. So every desk in a class can have a great shot of the board. And then over here, I just have my little area that I sit at. This is where I usually teach from. If I'm sitting as I teach, it's going to be right here at the computer section, or I'm going to stand and walk up and down the aisles, in between the aisles. So this is just my little section, and I usually have a bin with everything I need, pens and pencils, but it looked a little messy, so I took it away for this video, for filming this video. And that's my laptop. My document camera comes in handy as well, is right behind it, and all of this connects to the Promethean board so that I can set it up for my students. And then in this corner, it looks a little messy, but this is the Student Technology Center. And here's just a classroom set of Chromebooks, and when they need their Chromebooks, I put it in the agenda for today that they need their Chromebooks. So right after they go walk in and do their procedures and walk all the way around, they have to come over here, grab a Chromebook, and then sit in their desk and start on their bell ringer. But only if the agenda for today says they need a Chromebook, and I need to write that on the board because they need a Chromebook tomorrow. And then here I just have the regular computers that I allow them to do AR on, because they're not allowed to do AR outside of school or on the Chromebooks. They have to do them in a classroom where I'm able to monitor them. So this section is just for them to use their Chromebooks. And then, to do AR. And then up here I just have a bookshelf. We have a lot of storage in this classroom with a lot of stuff used. But again, this is my first year in this classroom, so I don't know what any of that stuff is, so I didn't want to look at it. So I just covered it with a sheer curtain and made it into the Student Technology Center. And when I need something off of that shelf, I just move this computer desk up. It's not very heavy and it's easy to move. So yes, and I only have one chair right now. I don't know what happened to the other one, but I only have one right now. And this is just more classroom copies of books. I wanted to cover this, but I'm just like, you know what? I don't want to pay for the fabric to just keep covering it. And then I thought about covering it with butcher paper, but I'm like, well, we're going to need it. Then the butcher paper is just going to get messed up. So this is just where we're at. I'm okay with it now. I finally accepted that I can't do anything about it. And then up here, I just have the agenda for each class, even though both says English 1, what I'm supposed to say English 2. And then I have the agenda for speech. And then I have what I call the quote of the week. Each week I do a quote, and I keep the quote here. And then I just have some reminders for myself up here. And this is again, I just have some reminders up here. And then I have some Christmas lights. I'll show y'all what the Christmas lights look like with the light off. And I like to keep the lights off when I'm in here, but I'll get into that later. And this is just some reminders and stuff that I like to remind myself about and keep up here. And this the lunch schedule. And then it's just some pictures of me. And then this is my area. This is all my classroom all my teacher edition books. And just some binders and stuff that I like to use. And I like to keep my records of everything I do in the 9 weeks. I keep it here. And this is just my printer and a file cabinet. Another one, something smells funny. And this is just my clock, just a decorative clock. It actually works though, which makes me really excited. And I got into that in a haul. And this is just a board I already had. Again, it's just for me to put little things in there, like little notes that students are giving me. I like to just put it in there and remind me. I haven't received any from this year, that's why it's empty. And this is just my chair that I made. And I just put a little burlap on it, covered it in the blue sheet, kind of kept the theme. And my desk is a little messy because, again, the school year has begun. But this is just my desk. This is everything that I need. AR passwords, computer signed in, steps, referrals, my computer. And then here I have what's called a fresh form. And it's just a bin that my students put their tickets in. And I give them tickets when I see them doing something positive. I give them one of these tickets and they write their name on it and put it inside the fresh form jar. And then at the end of the 9 weeks, I pull 5 names from the jar and they win Chick-fil-A gift cards or whatever I have in there, or bonus points or etc. Whatever I have in there for the 9 weeks. So yes, I think that is all that I have in my classroom. I hope I was detailed enough in showing you exactly what I have. Remember, this is a high school classroom. So it's not as intricate as an elementary classroom would be, but it's very functional and I love it. I enjoy it. And yes, my students enjoy being in here. They like when I turn down the lights and it just helps them calm. Research says that it helps calm students. So I'll just show you what it looks like with the light off. Let's see. Hopefully it's not too dark on camera. Okay, yeah, that's pretty good. And it looks like really low light, but it works out. And my students can still see the board and they enjoy it. And I enjoy it as well. I prefer the lights to be out. And here's just my American flag that we pledge to every morning. So yes, I hope you enjoyed my classroom tour. Please like and comment and subscribe to my video. I will be having a lot more videos where I go into detail on how my procedures worked out, things that I may have changed that did not work out in my favor. And yes, that's all. Thank you.